All right, back for another day. Just in the nick of time before the timer counts down to 0. Um, yeah, I wanted to start today's stream a little bit earlier because I just installed, or rather set up, some snippets, a snippets plugin, and I wanted to show that off to help with stuff like summoning things quicker because that was always a slow point. Um, But I couldn't get my stream up earlier, and so we've run out of time and it's about to start. So maybe either tomorrow or at the end of the stream, I might go into that a little bit. But for now, we're going to go straight into day 7. So welcome if you're joining me. Good to have you on board. Let's go. The Treachery of the Whales, day 7. So a giant whale has decided that my submarine is its next meal, and it's much faster than me. There's nowhere to run. Suddenly, a swarm of crabs, each in its own tiny submarine, okay, zooms in to rescue you. They seem to be preparing to blast a hole in the ocean floor. Sensors indicate a massive underground cave system just beyond where they're aiming. The crab submarines all need to be aligned before they'll have enough power to blast a large enough hole for your submarine to get through. However, it doesn't look like they'll be aligned before the whale catches you. Maybe you can help? There's one major catch. Crab submarines can only move horizontally. Oh, hang on. I'm having trouble with my stream. Okay, so hopefully those frame rate issues should be gone by now. Turns out my laptop automatically joined not my 5 gigahertz network, and so my stream's been dropping a little bit, but I should be back and everything looks good. So let's summarize and then keep going. So a giant whale is chasing me, and there are sort of crabs that are in submarines for some reason, and I need to help them align themselves to blast a hole in the ocean floor big enough for my submarine. So let's see. You quickly make a list of the horizontal position of each crab. My puzzle input. Right, I missed the thing. Crab submarines can only move horizontally. Crab submarines have limited fuel, so you need to find a way to make all of their horizontal positions match while requiring them to spend as little fuel as possible. For example, consider the following horizontal positions. That list. This means that there's a crab with horizontal position 16, a crab with horizontal position 1, and so on. For each change of one step in the horizontal position of a single crab costs 1 fuel. You could choose any horizontal position to align them all on, but the one that costs the least fuel is horizontal position 2. Some kind of minimum distance thing. This costs a total of 37 fuel. This is the cheapest possible outcome. Yeah, okay, that seems to make sense. Determine the horizontal position that the crabs can align to using the least fuel possible. How much fuel must they spend to align to that position? Okay, that seems straightforward enough. Do I think we can brute force this? Is the main question. Maybe that's what we'll end up having to do again. So let's see. What do I want to do? I want to create an array. Oops. So I was saying, I don't know if this came up on stream earlier, but I set up a snippets tool to help me with kind of, you know what I never did? Map. I never did map. So we'll use something like filter to kind of stand in place for this. So we want to loop over strings.split, data 0, split on the colon. We'll sort that out later. Okay, that broke things. Okay, so these are ints, of course. Position. Whoa, these are still tied together. That seems a little bit sketchy, but we'll see what happens. We're gonna convert these to numbers as usual, and we're going to have that. And we're going to run day 7. Cool. So do we just brute force it and try every single possible position? Surely it can't be the last one or the earliest one, right? We're going to do max position here as well. If I is greater than max, max equals I. So we just have the max position. So for I less than max, I plus plus, we also have I less than equal to max. We just calculate the distance, right? Yeah. Dists for no, max plus 1. Yeah, so then we just say for each distance, again, this is the naive way to do this. For each distance, we need to do a loop over the array, don't we? For the positions, I feel like, well, there's definitely a better way to do this, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. Dists I plus equals v minus I. Absolute value of v minus I. It seems somewhat reasonable. So we just need to find the smallest one. If we'll just do this, if v is less than min, min equals v, what is the smallest amount, smallest value, right? Smallest value. Smallest value seems to be this, which looks reasonable. Okay, we got it. It wasn't the fastest, but that's okay. Let's try the second thing. The crabs, part 2. The crabs don't seem interested in your proposed solution. Perhaps you misunderstand crab engineering. As it turns out, crab submarine engines don't burn fuel at a constant rate. That sounds annoying. Instead, each change of one step in the horizontal position costs 1 more unit of fuel than the last. The first step costs 1, the second step costs 2, the third step costs 3, and so on. Okay, so these are triangle numbers, right? So the easiest way is to just write a cost function. 1 should return 1, 2 should return 3, 3 should return 6. So triangle numbers, of course, is I times I plus 1 divided by 2. Right, so 1 times 2 is 2, divided by 2 is 1. So that's my cost function. So it's the exact same thing, but we just here plug in the cost function instead. And we should have our answer. How much fuel must they spend? That should be the most straightforward part 2 that you'll ever see. It does mean that you need to know the formula for triangle numbers. I did really enjoy maths in my high school years, so that is one formula that I do know off the top of my head. So yeah, sorry about the the technical difficulties at the beginning. I was on the wrong network, and so my connection wasn't very stable. But it looks like everything's gotten back on track. So yeah, it's a really neat little challenge. Nothing too complicated today. So thanks for joining me, and I will see you again tomorrow.